Hi, and welcome to this Surface seminar. During this 30 minutes, we'll review our two new Surface products as well as the many accessories that have recently launched alongside our Surface family. So to start off, let's discuss the Surface Pitch. What do you love? We ask this question because we want to get out of our customers what do they love? What do they want to do on their new device? We also want to drive familiarity with the Surface brand, and we want to lead a fact-finding and question-asking mission in order to qualify the customer and get the right Surface for their needs. We also ask, what do you love? Because we want to see their consideration. What are they intending on purchasing? We want to know where they're working, how are they creating, and what Surface is right for them. As the Surface family grows, we have more options, but that also means more choice. So it's more important than ever to properly qualify the customer. Now, there are a variety of situations and scenarios where a different Surface device might be right for our customer. But today, we're really going to focus on our two newest devices, our Surface Go 2 and the Surface Book 3. So first, let's start off with Surface Go 2. Surface Go 2 is designed to be really a portable companion, something that you can take with you everywhere. You can throw it in your bag, in your purse, and you can take it to school. You can take this to work while you're on your commute. This is an excellent everyday device that can go anywhere with you. Well, what's new? Well, first of all, you might notice that the bezel on the screen is smaller. That's because this device has a larger screen, 10.5 inches. It starts at just 1.2 pounds with that 10.5-inch touchscreen. It's fast with two new processor options, and there's more ways to plug in thanks to the USB Type-C, a headphone jack, and the Surface Connect port, which if you're not familiar with the Surface Connect port, that's the way that we charge our Surface devices, that special magnetic connection. And that allows us to snap in, charge, and also use the new Surface Dock 2, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. One of the exciting new things with the Surface Go 2 are there are now two processor options. You have the option of an Intel Pentium Gold and a Core M3. So with these two options, you have different price points, but you also have more options for those who need a little more power out of their portable Surface Go 2. So let's look at some of the new features. So it's that 10.5-inch touchscreen that I think is the biggest call out when you're just looking at the device. It is a larger touchscreen, still the same dimensions, by the way, of the original Surface Go 1. So you still have that incredibly portable chassis. It is very portable, starting at 1.2 pounds. That does not include the optional type cover, but it still is an incredibly light device with or without that type cover. So much so, you could just throw this in your bag, throw it in your purse, and no one's really gonna notice that it's in there among all the other things. The battery life, you should expect to hit around 10 hours. That always depends on what you're actually doing with the device. So you always want to qualify and see what it is a customer expects. If they're just playing games, you're going to get less. But if they're using the device in the way the average customer will, you'll get about 10 hours of battery life. Next, it's really important to call out that this is indeed a tablet, but it has the everyday performance and the versatility of a laptop, thanks to the type cover and that iconic kickstand. It has built-in Wi-Fi, as well as upgraded Bluetooth, optional LTE Advanced, which is perfect if you're working on the go. Wi-Fi is wonderful to have, but if you're out and about or you are going somewhere where there is no Wi-Fi, maybe you're on a road trip, well, you're going to want LTE so you can be always connected. As far as ports, we have USB Type-C, headphone jack, and the HD front and rear facing cameras. And then finally, this device is really meant to be shared. It's a device that we see the family using. And as part of that, you want to make sure that your stuff is separate. Well, thanks to Windows user accounts, thanks to family safety settings, you're able to set that up. So this is the perfect device that you could, hand to your kids, that you could pass around the family, and everyone can use, and everyone can feel confident that they're safe and secure. When it comes to accessories and our attach, Priority, of course, is that Surface Go type cover with those two new updated colors. Surface Pen, of course, comes next, and we want to make sure that we're attaching with our bundles Surface Mobile Mouse. This is perfect for those who are on the go, and it comes in at a great price point. If they plan to connect up to an external device, well, we want to talk device adapters. We want to make sure that they are connecting, with USB Type-C so they can get all of that connectivity that they may need. So now that we understand a little bit of what the Surface Go 2 is all about and what's new, let's talk about who the Surface Go 2 is right for. The Surface Go 2 customer. This device is really right for those customers who want something that's light, portable, and always with them. So I really do think of this device as the perfect device for students to take to class, or if they're out and about, or if they need a device that they can move around the house, then this is a device that's perfect for them. It's also perfect for parents who want something that they can use, but then they can share with their kids as sort of a portable video station. Windows 10 makes sharing very easy, and thanks to features like Windows Hello, you can easily log in to multiple profiles. And like I mentioned earlier, family safety settings makes it very easy to set up screen time limits, so you can clamp down and make sure that, first of all, kids aren't seeing anything that they're not supposed to, but they're also not watching more than they need to. And finally, it's that design. The design, when you feel the Surface Go 2, it is an incredibly premium design. Just the way the kickstand works, the type cover, just the feel of the metal, the feel of the touch screen. This is, while it is our smallest, most affordable Surface device, it is also a premium device that's great for everyday computing tasks. Something that's a perfect travel companion, great for parents, great for students, and great for kids. So let's look at our tech specs real quick. Lots of tech specs here. Some of the big callouts, of course, the dimensions. I know you probably don't have the original Surface Go dimensions memorized, but those are the same sizes as the original Surface Go, just a larger screen, a 10.5-inch screen with that 3:2 aspect ratio, Corning Gorilla Glass 3, which means it's really resistant to shattering. So that's a great device to have as a portable device. 2 processor options. That's a big takeaway compared to the previous Surface Go. 8th gen Intel Core M3 processor as our higher tier option, and a Pentium Gold 4425Y processor. 2 storage configurations, as well as 2 different memory options. There is optional LTE Advanced available, so that is an option that customers can take advantage of. As I mentioned a couple of times, you still have those great connection ports, USB Type-C, headphone jack, Surface Connect port, the Surface Type Cover port, and the hidden micro SD card reader that's underneath the kickstand, which is a great way to expand the device if you need additional storage. So that's it for the Surface Go 2. For now, we're going to transfer over to the Surface Book 3, which is, I think, for many people, a really exciting aspirational device because it is the most powerful Surface device that we have ever made. It is our powerhouse performance device. Absolutely gorgeous. Of course, it still detaches just like the original did, but this is substantially more powerful than our original device, or even the previous generation, up to 64% more powerful. And thanks to those different modes like laptop, tablet, and studio mode, it's probably our most versatile device as well. So where does the Surface Book 3, well, what changed compared to the Surface Book 2? Well, let's start off with the 13.5-inch. So the 13.5-inch Surface Book 3 is 50% faster than the previous generation. 50% faster. That is a huge jump in speed. The 15-inch Surface Book 3 is 30% faster than the previous generation. Again, a huge jump in speed. The Surface Book 3 13.5-inch has 40% more graphics performance than the previous version. Now, one of the things that people mentioned is they loved the fact the screen detached, but it took a little too long for some folks. So the Surface Book 3 detaches, the screen detaches up to three times faster than the previous generation. So when you hit that button, the detach is substantially faster. This is excellent. It just makes it feel much more fluid. When it comes to using this device as a really what it's intended for, which is that ultimate workstation device, but also something that's portable that you can put in your laptop bag, that you can take with you, whether it's around the house, to the office, or if you need to travel. You also want to be able to use this as that workstation when you're back at home or back at the office. And the Surface Dock 2, which I've mentioned a couple of times, and I will show you what that is, I promise. The Surface Dock 2 makes it much easier to snap into those multiple monitors, to connect up to maybe a full-size keyboard, all of those additional peripherals that you would need in order to make this your ultimate workstation device. It's really enabled by that Surface Dock 2, which we'll get to here in a second. We've also seen updated NVIDIA GeForce graphics, the best out of any of our devices. Better sound, spatial sound actually now with Dolby Atmos, which is an upgrade, and dual far-field microphones. This is a big deal because as we're using things like Teams, things like Skype more and more, I think we've all started to discover that bad audio quality is really frustrating. Especially when you can't hear someone or it's scratchy. Well, dual far-field studio microphones, which you'll now find across all of our Surface devices. This makes for great call quality. You can really hear the person with excellent clarity. It's a really big upgrade and something that's absolutely a necessity when it comes to doing online conference calling, whether it's for business or with your friends and family. So this device, it truly is, that most powerful device, but we understand it's not just for work. It's for working and creating and playing, and sometimes those things sort of blend together, don't they? Well, we want to make sure that we've bumped up the specs in order to support that. So we have the fastest processor of any of our devices, the latest quad-core Intel processors, and it's powered by that GeForce GPU. Now with the 15-inch up to 2 terabytes of storage, and both screen size devices can have up to 32 gigs of RAM, which is excellent if you're doing more creative work. If you're working in video editing software, rendering software, you're going to need that 32 gigs. The Surface Book 3 still has the best battery life of any of our devices, up to 17 hours for the 15-inch device. And thanks to that PixelSense display, you've got that large tablet, which is excellent if you need to do some artwork or if you just want to kick back and watch a few of your favorite shows. Now, when it comes to ports, they're still a really big deal. We need ports on our devices in order to connect up to the things that we need to do. And so that's why we still give plenty of choice. You still have your USB Type-A and that versatile USB Type-C. So you get the best of both worlds. It's sort of future-facing port, but we also have you covered if you've got, older devices, which we've all got USB Type-A devices. The other thing that's really nice for the creatives, you have a full-sized SD card slot. So if you are shooting video or you're shooting photos, then you've got that SD card slot, so you don't have to use an adapter or a dongle. Just plug that SD card in and you're ready to go. Now, because of the upgrades with the graphics cards, these devices are better than ever for gaming. And one excellent thing we can showcase is Game Pass for PC. Especially the 15-inch, can truly handle some pretty intensive graphics thanks to those updated GPUs. Now, I mentioned earlier, the 3 different modes. This is something I really like to bring up to customers, that not only do you have a laptop mode, which is how you'll probably use it most of the time, but when creativity strikes you, or when you need to take this device somewhere else other than your desk, you have that tablet mode. And when you need to, really dig in and maybe work in some, computer-aided drawing software, you need to really get hands-on with the device, you have that studio mode, and you can take advantage of that GPU. So there's 3 different modes, plus our great accessories like the Surface Pen and the Surface Dial really do make this device that creative powerhouse. So just a few specs. I know there's a lot on this slide here, but just to call out what exactly has changed and what's new. I've mentioned that there's faster performance, and that's in large part thanks to the 10th generation Intel Core processors. You'll also see you've seen a bump up in terms of the GPUs. We have GeForce GTX 1650s on the 13.5-inch i7s. If you get an i5, it is the integrated graphics with Intel Iris Plus graphics cards. So still lots of options when it comes to price points and specs, so you can get the device that fits your needs. Up to 15.5 hours of battery life with our 13.5-inch book. And a pro-grade SSD that goes up to 1 terabyte, and that new 32 gigs of RAM. So a very fast, high-capacity device. A few other things I would point out that are new: Dolby Atmos speakers, so you get the most out of your audio, as well as an updated far-field microphone, or microphones, I should say, for better call quality. Now let's go to the Surface Book 3 15-inch. Again, 10th generation Intel Core processors, even faster graphics thanks to the 1660 Ti graphics, up to 17.5 hours battery life. So this device has the longest battery life of any of our devices. Tons of storage, up to 2 terabytes and 32 gigs of RAM. That gorgeous 15-inch PixelSense display, a huge keyboard, Dolby Atmos, dual far-field microphones, again, for excellent call quality. And notice that the power supply has actually been bumped up here, up to 127 watts. So it is a new power supply for these devices, which still has that handy USB port to charge any peripherals or accessories. So that's really it for our device upgrades and what's changed. So let's move into some of our accessories. So when it comes to accessories, the Surface Precision Mouse still is an excellent attached to our Surface Book 3. Gaming, of course, is going to be really popular with this device, especially the 15-inch, because of how powerful it is, and it's designed to meet those needs. So why not pair a controller with it? The Elite Series 2, or one of the many options and many offerings of Xbox controllers. Surface Dial is still a great option if you are chatting with a creative. But notice upper right-hand side, we have something new. We have this USB-C travel hub. The travel hub connects via USB Type-C, and this is the perfect dock for on the go. So you have USB Type-C, you have USB Type-A, you have VGA, HDMI, and Ethernet. So lots of options in terms of connectivity while still leaving all of those other ports on your device free. A really, really nice dock, a big upgrade. Now, bottom right, you notice that there's the Surface Dock 2. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit more, but lots of upgrades here. The biggest ones you'll notice are USB Type-C. So that's something customers have really been asking for, and you see that now with our Surface Dock 2. So moving on from that new Surface Dock, which we'll talk about again in just a little bit. I want to save that for later. We also have our Surface earbuds, which are our newest Surface audio accessory. They are very comfortable, up to 24 hours of battery life. And we have our new Surface headphones 2, which actually have 4 mics per side, which means you have excellent call quality, as well as updated noise canceling. So an incredibly comfortable pair of headphones that are truly great if you are working on your device all day, and you do need that comfort. Okay, keep it on rolling with our devices. Surface Dock 2. So I'm going to just jump into the top reasons to buy. This device is right for the customer who wants a true all-in-one, but not in the way we think of all-in-ones usually, that big device that just sits on your desk. They want something that they can take with them, but that also has the power to do heavier duty programs, and that's what would be great with the Surface Book 3 plus the Surface Dock 2. Simply snap it in, connect it up, and now you've got a desktop connecting up to 2 4K monitors at 60 Hertz. Add an optional keyboard, mouse, other peripherals, and you have a really productive workstation that you can take with you anywhere. We see this device as primarily an attach for Surface Pro, Surface Pro X, and Surface Book 3. Now, it can work with any of our devices that have a Surface Connect port, but most of those customers traditionally, they don't need it as much. And so I tend to think of this device as right for that customer who is on the go, doing more work, and then coming back to an office or home office setting. When it comes to power and some of the upgrades, you'll notice that the biggest and the most obvious upgrade is USB Type-C has replaced the USB Type-A on the front, and USB Type-C has replaced mini DisplayPort out on the rear. So lots of connectivity options now thanks to the versatility of USB Type-C. You also have a longer Surface Connect cable. That was another thing we heard our customers say loud and clear, that the Surface Connect cable is great, but it's just not long enough, that they need to be able to reach all the way across their desk. So we increased the length of that as well. Let's move on to some of our awesome new accessories and just some of the great options. Our Microsoft Ergonomic Desktop Keyboard. This is perfect if you are working from home or from the office. This really does help keep you in a more natural posture and give you support that you need over a long day's work. It's designed by ergonomicists who help us make sure that we're creating something that is comfortable, that fits with your body, as opposed to something that, lights up and looks cool. This is designed to really help reduce injuries and stress, something that by the end of the day, you're not feeling sore and cramped up and tired. When it comes to portability, we still do need devices that are portable, that connect easily, that connect wirelessly, and that's really where this Microsoft Bluetooth desktop bundle comes into play. If you need a device that is slim, maybe you have a smaller workstation or you're on the go, but you still do want that full keyboard, this could be an excellent device for you with plenty of hotkeys and a comfortable mouse. This is a wonderful attach opportunity for those who need a slim or want a slim portable device. And then finally, one of my favorite options that we've come out with in a while, and with these updated colors, the Surface Mobile Mouse, or the Microsoft Modern Mobile Mouse, depending on the store and the location. These are truly excellent price points, and they're really comfortable, and they look pretty stylish as well. Why would you buy these if you want something that is slim, that you can take with you, or again, doesn't take up much space in your bag or on your desk? We really see these as attach opportunities for something like the Surface Go or some of our more premium devices, but I would say show these to almost any customer. The colors really do look wonderful, and it is a premium device with that Microsoft logo on it. So you're getting an excellent accessory that's designed to last for the long haul. And then finally, our Microsoft Bluetooth mice with up to 12 months of battery life. And again, great colors, as well as an excellent price point. This is really an awesome go-to attach opportunity. This should just be part of that motion showing these new options if you have them available. They're perfect for on the go. They're perfect for at home. They really don't take up much room. And one of the things I really like about it, they use Bluetooth 5.0 LE, so they have much better range, much better connectivity and throughput. They also have great battery life, up to 12 months. So just an excellent option. And one nice thing to call out here, as well as many of our other devices, but it includes Swift Pair. And if you've never used Swift Pair will actually, when you try and pair your device, a Windows computer around you will recognize that you're trying to pair the device and on screen prompt you to connect. It just makes the whole process so much easier for our customers as opposed to digging through settings, finding Bluetooth. All they need to do is look at the screen, and there is the option. A really useful feature built into many of our devices and into Windows 10. Now, let's talk about the USB-C Travel Hub. This is a new accessory for us. It can work with any device that has USB Type-C, but we really do see this as a device for someone who is on the go, who needs all of the connectivity, but without all of the bulk and the little baggie of dongles that I personally carry around in order to connect up to all the stuff that I need to do for work. So you can stay productive thanks to this really compact multi-port adapter. So it connects via USB Type-C, but it has that USB Type-A, VGA, which I was actually surprised by, Gigabit Ethernet, HDMI 2.0 with 4K out. Who do we see this device for? It's really for those who are more on the go. If they're at home, I would say the Surface Dock 2 is going to be a better option, but if they are out and about traveling, well, Surface Dock 2 might be great for at home. This is for out and about. So Surface Pro, Surface Pro X, Surface Laptop, or any device that a customer is using where they're presenting. They need to connect up to stuff, and they want to make sure that they have a high quality adapter that can do everything that they need.